Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. Paris Saint-Germain so far have signed Gonçalo Ramos, Marco Asensio, Cherendor, Milan Skriniar, Manu Ugarte, Tenas, Kang In-lee, Lucas Hernandez, and Ousmane Dembele. That's a lot of players. That's a lot of players Paris Saint-Germain signed so far, and they're still looking to sign even more players. According to a report, this is what Paris Saint-Germain wants. Paris Saint-Germain goal is to sign at least 3 players by the end of the transfer window. Randal Koulibaly, Bradley Barcola, a defensive midfielder, and an offensive midfielder. The defensive midfielder looks to be Ibrahim Sangare from PSV. It will only cost 37 million to get him to back, with him having a release clause. And I believe Paris Saint-Germain previously had an agreement with him until we signed Ugarte and we dropped the file. But we're back into the file looking at Ibrahim Sangare, and at the moment we're trying to get him to agree to join Paris Saint-Germain, even though we recently signed a 60 million signing of Manuel Ugarte, who plays in the same position. They're still looking at him. The central attacking midfielder, it looks very hard for Paris Saint-Germain to get a really good name. Obviously Kylian Mbappe internally is still pushing for Bernardo Silva, but with him having a mutual agreement with Manchester City to extend, we can waive that player off. Matheus Nunes is also a player that is always been linked with Paris Saint-Germain. Luis Campos always pushing his name. And obviously, Jorge Mendes being his agent makes everything more easy and more realistic to happen. Kone from Borussia Mönchengladbach, the file has also been revived, so Paris Saint-Germain looking at him. And obviously Khéphren Thuram has always been a player that Paris Saint-Germain wants to have, and the player that wants to join PSG, but nothing concrete with Nice so far at the moment. And the other 2 players were Bradley Barcola. Obviously Lyon FFP is still on their asses and they would need to sell. They have previously rejected a bid of between 30 to 35 million. They're looking for 50. Hopefully Paris Saint-Germain send in a 40 million bid and we make the deal happen. And lastly, it's Koulibaly. Negotiations have accelerated a lot in the past 2 days ever since the signing and announcement of Ousmane Dembele. So Koulibaly very close to join Paris Saint-Germain. A bid around 70 to 80 million should be sent to Frankfurt as soon as possible, and we'll make the transfer happen. But that's not it. Paris Saint-Germain are obviously also looking to sell players from their squad, and these are the players they're looking to sell. Obviously Leandro Paredes and Renato Sanchez have both went to Roma. Leandro Paredes went on a permanent 5 million deal, whilst Renato Sanchez is a loan with an option to buy. Abdou Diallo also went to Qatar, so both of those players have already left. Then we have Edouard Michut. We're still looking for some suitors of him. Pembele, obviously, Wijnaldum, Gassama, obviously recently went to Sheffield Wednesday, Montu, Fernandez, Bodiang, Ekitike, Marco Verratti is still on the sell list. Paris Saint-Germain looking to sell him. Julian Draxler as well. He has some Saudi clubs looking at him. Juan Bernat as well. Bundesliga clubs and Al Hilal are looking at his signature. So a lot of players will be leaving Paris Saint-Germain at the end of the season. All the undesirables, and Paris Saint-Germain would not say no to an offer for Fabian Ruiz and Carlos Soler. Obviously, I can even predict maybe a João Felix Soler loan option happens at the end of the summer, because João Felix is desperate to leave Atletico Madrid. Lucho likes him, Campos likes him, Jorge Mendes is his agent. That's still feasible. But Paris Saint-Germain looking to sign 1 central defensive midfielder, 1 central attacking midfielder, Randal Koulibaly and Bradley Barcola, and they're trying to sell all of their undesirables this summer. Obviously, Marquinhos is another player that Paris Saint-Germain would be okay letting go of as long as the right price comes, which is around 80 million, the asking price at the moment for Paris Saint-Germain. I don't see any team putting that bid for Marquinhos, but with it still being 13 days left of the transfer window, maybe something cheeky happens. So make sure to stay tuned. That's been it. This is what's left from Paris Saint-Germain's transfer window so far this summer. It's about to end, but it's not done yet. That's been it. Allez, Paris.